Good afternoon, this is Mr. Riley, and I will be giving you a demonstration on Lab 4 for CIST 1601. Okay, so let's go ahead and on the domain controller, so make sure we're on the right one, domain controller, and we are on domain controller here. We're going to go ahead and click on the server manager icon in the taskbar. Goes. Okay. From Server Manager, click on Select Active Directory Users. Up here on the top bar, go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers, and it should open up in a moment. Okay, I'm going to go full screen with this so we can see it okay. And then expand the domain, which is securelabsondemand.com. And the first time you open it, it will be collapsed like this, but then, other times after this, when you open it, it should be expanded. So, in the left pane, back to Directory Users and Computers, click on the user container. And then you'll see pre-configured ones already created here that come, that are built automatically. And then we're going to go ahead and click on the Active Directory User Computers, click on the Create a New Group Current Container button. So that would be, that's user, that's container, or group rather. So click on that. And on the new group, we're going to give it a name of developers. And you'll see the group scope is by default global and domain, and then you can choose it domain local or universal. And the group type is security or distribution. Security you can actually give permissions to. Distribution would be for like an email distribution list. So once you do that, go ahead and click OK. In the new object, group dialog box, confirm, and to select global, that's the default setting. The group type is security, and that's fine, like I was just talking about. Okay, and do the same thing, but now we're going to create managers. So right mouse click. Well, actually, new group, managers. There we go, managers is created. Okay, for right now, we'll go ahead and minimize this. Okay, on the domain controller 01, click the PowerShell icon. Looks like a little blue backwards Z. To create a new global group, you will use a PowerShell commandlet called add new AD group. This commandlet and the options used to exercise described below. So I'm going to make this larger so it's easier to see in the video. Properties, font, 20. Okay, so new AD group. Okay, dash name. So we're going to do one for human resources. And group scope. Remember I said there's 3 choices, and it would be global, universal, or domain local. Group category. And it was a security group, right? Okay. Let me pause. I see what I did wrong here. I see what the command I did was wrong here. So back here, it's not a group category, it is a group scope. There we go. Yeah, and 99% of the time it'll be syntax in here, so a misspelling somewhere. From the domain controller, restore the Active Directory users' computers. And in the right mouse click in here somewhere and click refresh. And let's see if we can find human resources. Right there. And if you go to properties, global security group. Okay. On the Active Directory users and computers toolbar, click create a new user. And that would be the single person there. And we're going to go ahead and then the new, we're going to create this user called Sam. Carpenter. And S. Carpenter. And, you know, first name, first initial, last name. Give him a password of P-A or at SSW0RD exclamation point P. Okay. Here are some best practices for a secure account. Never leave the admin account named administrator. You can rename that. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Never use easily guessed passwords. Do not use non-sequential sets of letters, uppercase, lowercase, or use. And change your password frequently, and maintain password policy. It's difficult but necessary, and whenever possible use multi-factor authentication. So just for the lab, at the password click, user must change. So we're basically clearing that just for the lab. And go ahead and click next and finish. So now we have Sam Carpenter. Now the new user will appear. Correct. So we're going to right mouse click Sam here and add to a group. And if we type in DEV and hit check name, basically the beginning of developers, you'll see it shows up. And go ahead and click OK. And you've been added to the group. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create another user. New user. Carl. Prince. C. Prince. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create Carl Prince. And also add Carl Prince to the developers and managers group. So Carl, add to group, DEV, check name. And what you can do is just type in MAN, check name. And so it's going to add them to both groups. Save you a little bit of time here. The add group operations are successfully completed. So let's go ahead and restore the PowerShell. And to add a user to more than one group in the same step, separate the group names with a semicolon before clicking the next, which happened automatically with that one. The next step, you'll use PowerShell to create another new user with the new add user commandlet. The commandlet is option below, it's described below. And we're going to basically use these commands. But, you know, new AD user, what their name is, user principal name, account password, given name, surname, and enable entries. So let's go ahead and start this out here. So, new AD user dash name space LCASADO user principal name LCASADO at Secure Labs on demand.com space dash okay, you see how I went ahead and toggled through that? If there's more than one command that starts with like ACC, then you can just keep hitting the tab button to get to it, to get the one you want. I did it there, I toggled through it. Okay, convert to dash ASPL. Had to put a space in there. ASPL plain text. Given name, LAURA. Oops. There's lots of things that start with S, so sorry about that. CASADO. Enabled. $TR true. Okay, I got no feedback, but it's kind of nice. They show you like the commands, and then like in the gray they have there's actually like identifiers. In the white it's actually stuff you have to type in, and then the like that's like a Boolean, true, not true, false, stuff like that. So okay. In the next step, you'll add the new user to an existing global security group, new AD group member, commandlet. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and add AD group, AD group member dash identity space human. Members LCASADO. And what did I spell wrong? I see what I did wrong. I spelled resources wrong. I have the R and the C. There we go. And it happens. It happens to me too. Okay, restore the Active Directory domain computer or console. Okay. In the right pane, right click any of the empty area and say refresh. Refresh. Okay. Verify the new user. Right there. Right click the that of the user OU. So what I can do is right mouse click this, go to properties, member of, human resources right there. Make a screen capture showing the new user and group and make a screen capture showing the new users and groups in Active Directory users and computers. I'm going to take this down here. Okay, close Active Directory users and computers. I'm going to close that. Close Server Manager window. Restore PowerShell and do the following here. GP update. Slash. And that's how you update group policies. To force an immediate update to all group policies of the domain controller. This system will now generate a confirmation message indicating that the computer and the user policy has been updated successfully. And it did. Okay. So let's go ahead and close PowerShell. Exit. Okay. That was part one. Let's move on to part two of section one. On the lab, you will, on the lab toolbar, select workstation. So go up here. We were on domain controller. We're going to move to the workstation. And we're going to go ahead and press Control-Alt-Delete to unlock. So if you go to keypad up here, keyboard, send Control-Alt-Delete, which I just did. Okay. Click on Other User. And we're going to type Secure Labs on demand / administrator. Now the difference between this and the other administrator is one is on the local machine, this one is on the domain. The first time you log on as a new user, it's going to create a new profile for that machine. So the first time you log on, it takes a little longer. Okay, it didn't work. Let's see. Ah, I see what I did wrong. So, Secure Labs on DEM / administrator. They're keeping it down to a certain length. So capital P at SSW0RD exclamation point 2. Okay. So now we see the in the navigation. Oh, so go ahead and click on Files Explorer, and then go to the C drive. Go to this PC and then the C drive. Okay. Okay. And then on the File Explorer, click New Folder. And we're going to call the new folder Lab Files. Okay. And before we proceed with our building our folder structure, we'll first configure the security permissions for the Lab Files folder. In File Explorer, right-click Lab Folders file. Select Properties. Okay. To enforce the proper access controls for the security groups, you will also use Windows Security Permissions, also known as NTFS. Security permissions are used to instruct the Windows OS which actions to use for what user or group can perform on a file or folder in the NTFS file system. The 7 basic permissions values for NTFS are read, write, modify, list folder contents, read, execute, full control, and special permissions. Go ahead and read up on these. Make sure you do that. So now we're going to go ahead and click on Security tab, right? And we're going to go ahead and click it in the Lab Files folder, click Advanced. Open the Advanced Security files for the Lab dialog box. In the Advanced Security settings, click on Disable Inheritance. When prompted, click Convert Inherited Permissions into Explicit Permissions option buttons. Go ahead and click OK to close the advanced there. Okay, now we're going to click Edit here. In the permissions for Lab Files, click the User Workstation User Group and remove. To prevent anyone except for the built-in administrator accounts system created from being able to access this folder for files. In the permissions, go ahead and click Add, the Add button, and to open and select the User and Computer and Service Accounts group, and okay, now that it popped up, we can go ahead and type in develop, check name, type in man, check name, type in human, check name. Okay. Click OK. It's still working on this right now. I'm going to pause while this does this. Okay, as you see, developers, human resources, and managers showed up here. Let's go ahead and click OK. Click OK to close the properties dialog box. Okay. Now that the appropriate permissions have been granted to the Now that the appropriate permissions have been assigned to the lab folders, we'll proceed to create folders for each functional group. So go ahead and go into the Lab Files folder, and New Folder, and HR Files. So New Files, HR Files. And then repeat it for MGR Files. Okay, so New Folder, MGR Files. .dev files. Okay, so we've created the files. In the next step, you will configure security permissions. In File Explorer, right-click the HR files, go to Properties. In the HR files, click the Security tab, got it. In the HR files, double-click the Advanced button, disable inheritance, click OK to close all the advanced security settings for the HR files. Now we're going to edit this. In the group username, click Managers. Okay, so edit. In the group, click Manager, Secure Lab. Boom. And click Remove. This is to prevent members of this group to be able to have access to the HR folders. And then in the permission and in the permissions HR dialog box, click Human Resources and click Edit. I'm sorry. Managers to remove and prevent use from animals. In the permissions HR dialog box, click Human Resource and click the Modify. To prevent users of the developers group from accessing. So we take this and remove the developers group. Okay. Okay, take a screenshot of that. So what we have here is Human Resources with the Modify permission. So we're going to close that and close that. Repeat the steps from 23 to 33 to restrict the Managers folder, removing the Human Resources and Developers group. So, Managers folder, Properties, Security, Advanced, Disable Inheritance, right? Click OK, Edit. Now this is the Managers, so we're going to remove the Developers, remove Human Resources, and make the Managers, give them Modify permissions, and apply. And take a screenshot. Oh, my fault. Actually, I want you to take a screenshot of that. So, delete that screenshot. That's fine. And now do a screenshot. So if we look at this screenshot, you'll actually see it now. Cancel it. Okay. And now, save your changes, click OK. And now repeat the steps for the dev files folder. So go to Dev, Properties, Security, Advanced, Disable Inheritance. Okay. And go from here, click Edit, remove Managers, remove Human Resources, highlight Developers, and I'll give them a Modify permission, and apply. And take a screenshot of that. Okay, click OK, click OK. And then the last thing, make a screen capture showing the 3 folders in the lab file. And there it is. Okay. So let's move on to part 3. Verifying authentication access control. Okay. From the V Workstation taskbar, click the Start icon and hover your cursor over the user icon. And select Sign Out. So, sign out. we're going to go ahead and sign back in as S. Carpenter. Saying Control-Alt-Delete. And other user. And we're going to sign in as S. Carpenter. NP at SSW0RD. And Sam Carpenter is being logged on. And this is what I was saying earlier, how it's going to take a few moments, a couple of minutes to, when you initially log on, it's going to create a profile for Sam Carpenter in this case. Okay, now that we're logged on, in the File Explorer, navigate to this PC, local disk, lab files, C drive, lab files. Note, Sam Carpenter account doesn't have permission to read or traverse this folder, so you'll receive an error message. So let's double click. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so we don't have access to enter that folder. Oh, okay, I see what they're looking for. Make a screen capture showing the unsuccessful access error message for going to the HR folder. There's HR. So click cancel. In File Explorer, navigate and the MGR folder. Try to go in there. I don't have permissions. Take a screenshot. In the lab folder, go to the dev folder. And now we're in there. Sam Carpenter is a member of the developer security group and should be able to access that. In the development folder, right-click anywhere and select New Text Document. New Text Document, and type Sam Carpenter. Okay. The logged in on the user account and press enter to name the new file. Right click the new and select properties. From the context menu to open the properties and make a screen capture showing the properties dialog box for the file you created. Okay. Close the property dialog box. Okay. And repeat the steps 1 through 16 using, okay, so we're going to log off and log on as sign out, and we're going to log on for the human resources, and then see prints also. So saying Control-Alt-Delete. And we're going to log on as Other user, LCASADO, and P. Okay. Now we're signed in as El Casado, and we're going to go into the this PC, C drive, lab files, and so make a screen capture showing the properties dialog box for the file created in the HR folder. New text document, LCASADO. So I can actually open that up, and I created it. Okay. Oops. Do a screen capture of that. Okay, the next one, make a screen capture showing the unsuccessful error message for the managers group. So go up one level, managers, do a screen capture of that, cancel, developers, showing unsuccessful access to the developers group, cancel. Okay, now we're going to log off and log back on as, here, let me close everything out before I log off. Sign out. And now we're going to log on as Carl Prince. Other user, C Prince, P at SSWORD. And I'm going to pause for a second while this. Okay, now I'm logged on as Carl Prince, and I can demonstrate that real quick, like Carl Prince. Go to File Explorer, this PC, C drive, lab files. Now, make a screen capture showing the properties dialog box for the file created in the managers folder. Because he is part of two groups, so he should have access. So okay, make a screen capture of dialog box showing a file created in the dev folder by Carl Prince. So let's go back up, developers, new, text document, Carl Prince, screenshot. Okay, now we're going to go up and make a screen capture showing unsuccessful access error message for the HR folder. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here and break this into 3 parts. I will do section 2 in the second video. So I'll get back with you guys later. Thank you.